to Three Nerds on a Sunday, where three nerdy friends talk about all things nerd, geek, and pop culture related. I am one third of the nerd, Sonny, and my co-hosts over here, or they look more like bears at this point, is Manny and Frank. What's going on, everybody?
Hibernating bears. Yeah, that's what we are. I have to do something about my hair, so I'm gonna look up tutorials about.
Don't do that. It's the last thing you need to do.
You know, we should next week show up all with bandanas and push our hair out.
Oh! Next week I will have a bandana. Okay. I'm not gonna have one as cool as Sunny Boy here, but
yeah, that was pretty cool.
I've been sporting a kind of like headband all day or all week. I took it off now, but you can see how my hair is kind of like sticking out.
Yeah.
Like quarantine hair, don't care. Hey. All right, guys. You guys want to just jump right in, or you guys
jump right in?
Well, I guess the question is, do we have any news for this week? And anything
I got a few.
Okay.
I got one.
Got one. So let's go with Manny then first and see what he's got, because I got Diddley Squat.
Okay.
Oh man, Diddley is not the same as squat, but it's the same thing. What? Okay. So my big news was that Trolls actually made more money in its 3-week video on demand run than its original made in 5 months in the theater. That is nuts, dude. Because I mean, you only pay $20. Well, actually, I guess this one you rent it. You didn't really buy it. So you rented this, and then everyone gets to see it, and then that's it. It's not yours for like 2 days or after 2 days.
Do you know how much the movie made originally, the first one?
I could look that up a little bit further. I wasn't ready for follow-up questions. Normally don't have follow-up questions, but I could look that up either.
Because that would be insane, right? Like if they made like 100 million, if they made basically a real box office number or more in this case.
So this one, I guess the biggest thing is that the money generated from at-home release is huge for the studio because it's 100% profit.
Yeah.
Whereas movie theaters release generate only a 50% take home for the studio. So that's pretty nuts. And kind of similar news too. This little kids movie made a whole big deal with Universals, where AMC and there is one other theater. Man, I want to say. I can't remember. I'll look that up too. But they are no longer going to show Universal movies.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was about to say
because of a comment that Universal made about at home. So I'll find that comment.
I thought they were just mad. I didn't think it was like because of a comment.
No, I think it was actually because of a comment with that. So they got.
They were probably like saying something like, "Who needs theaters?" or something like that.
I don't know. I appreciate them coming out with this movie early.
Yeah.
Someone who will watch it like that, but I watched it and it was cool. And I'm pretty sure your kids loved it. It was actually I believe Regal. Yeah, Regal Theaters.
Regal. Oh, okay.
They will no longer be showing Universal Studios for now, which is kind of nuts, man. Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, those movies are coming out, and I gotta go find myself my theater to go see that. So yeah, I'll try to figure this out and see what it is. And Trolls World Tour succeeded their expectations, pulling in nearly 100 million in revenue through digital sales alone, and more than 5 million copies sold.
Wow.
And the original Trolls made 153 million in U.S. and Canada, and in total 193 million in other countries as well. So they made about 346 million in total in the first Trolls. So yeah, I mean, it's only about 53 off from what they made with the first Trolls just in America. So pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, this is probably encouraging the the on-demand stuff, but I don't know how the other movies did. You know how The Hunt came out and what else came out?
I forget what else came out. Yeah,
Invisible Man, I think.
yeah, The Invisible Man.
The
That was
Hunt, and I forgot what else.
hot trash. The Invisible Man is hot trash.
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
like it that much. It was okay for me. It
it was not good. I mean, it had okay moments, but
was
anyways,
okay. I don't think it's trash, but it just was okay.
They weren't special at all. They
Yeah.
were, actually, I'm sorry. The Hunt was
it was
I like The Hunt.
refreshing. But yeah, the Invisible Man was not the movie I thought it was going to be.
No, me neither. It's like, why call it that? Like, why tie it to the monster movie universe like that? Like, you could have called it whatever you want. Like, it could just be like kind of a sci-fi horror a little bit. It didn't have to be Invisible Man.
Man, I don't see the comment. I see what Universal said. Universal says, not Universal, AMC. What was it? Man, I just saw it. The where is it? It's disappointing to us. Therefore, effective immediately, AMC will no longer be playing any Universal movies in any of our movie theaters in the United States, Europe, or Middle East. This policy affects any and all Universal movies per se. Goes into effect today, and as theaters reopen, somehow hollow. Oh, that's what I'm getting this from the Independent, but I still can't find the comment. I wonder what the comment is, man. Do you guys think the comment's really really that bad?
Maybe it was almost like whoever's dealing with AMC, they were just fed up, and it was the wrong time to make a comment. You
I
know,
mean, if I had to assume, it was just more like, oh, we have to step back and uh, reanalyze our way we're going to do business from now on. Especially, we don't know how long this will go on,
yeah,
and kind of alluding to, well, maybe we can do our own thing.
Oh, I think that's what it was. The results of World Tours, Trolls World Tour have exceeded our expectations and demonstrated the viability of PVOD. Uh, as soon as theaters reopen, we expect to release movies on both formats.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, they're
Just
seeing
basically
a
saying,
further threat to their existence. So,
It was as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Holy crap.
but is it really that smart for AMC to do that? I mean, I'd rather get something than nothing. I mean, you're not going to be able to stop them from,
This
like
this
if
is
you're at a
what
movie
sucked, man.
theater, I don't know. It's a tough spot for both.
So especially if it's Universal, this is what's gonna suck. Video or Trolls, I can only rent on my Apple TV, and that's my primary source of
Yeah.
movie watching and movie buying right now.
Hmm.
Um, so let's say Jurassic World Dominion comes out and AMC is not showing it. Well, that means I have to pay. Well, I guess it's better, but I have to pay $20 to rent the movie I really want to see at home, and
Yeah.
then buy it again for another
Right.
$20 a little bit later. So that's 40. Now,
Mhm.
granted, me talking about this right now might be cheaper because I'm paying $20, what, a ticket, $15 a ticket. And
Yeah,
maybe
and
I'm
then your
buying one
food
for
and
me.
your
And okay, so I get it, it's still cheaper,
it just
but I
feels
just want to
weird
buy
though.
it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely feels weird. We have brought this on ourselves because we want this, and
We
now it's
want the
here.
best of both worlds, and now we're like,
yep,
okay, we
guys.
don't really want to deal with this whole like 20 rental and then 20 keep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess in the long run, it's gonna be better, man.
But I think
But I like going to.
it's harder to deal with the weight in this format, the new format, than it is the old way because it's exclusive to theaters. So you're it's like I don't know if we're just used to it or if it's
It was an event.
yeah, but also like it makes the wait harder to not be able to purchase it if you really liked it. You're like it's right there, but I can only rent it over and over again. I can't buy it
Yeah.
even though I want to keep watching it.
Yeah. So I could see where the profit of $20 will come up real quick because, man, it's just gonna change things, man. Like going to the movies is like how I said, an event. I can't imagine the first time I watch Endgame being at home. And I have a
Yeah.
nice TV. I like my TV, but
Yeah.
nothing beat going to watch Endgame on that huge theater with everyone else and cheering and all that. That's the beauty of these comic book movies. Now, as we get further and further into these movies, there's going to be less and less of those special moments. I get that.
Sure.
But I don't want to waste what little special moments are left by me watching it here. Nothing bad about my wife. No offense to my wife, but she won't appreciate it as much as maybe you guys or some random stranger who might have the same passion as I do towards these little movies. Like Sonny not hates, but he's done with Marvel movies. He's not going to show the great reaction to it unless it's a Captain America movie and it's like a crazy scene that we only saw in the comics. You will show that reaction, but I'm talking to Frank.
I'm still in it. Yep.
Yeah, you were so ooh. I get it, but I want that reaction like 100 times, man, because I just like it. I just fucking like it.
Of course.
I even got the little reaction from Scarlett.
Yeah, that too. I mean, it's like there is movie magic added when you go to the theater versus at home. Like, even not even if just Endgame. Like, yeah, that's one thing, but even just like a normal movie, it might even feel more special just because you're at the theater and you have a little bit more crowd reaction and all that stuff than watching it at home. Yeah.
So that's my thoughts on that. That was a good little first one. Huh.
Oh, good.
Thought you got me, Sonny, by saying I only have one. All right, what you got, Frank?
You got one, you go first.
I got, as usual, game stuff. It
doesn't beat. Is it gonna beat Sonny's calling of Valhalla? No,
I'm gonna let him have that one, but I have two other ones. And it's really not that much news. It's just that The Last of Us 2 was pushed back due to everything that's happening. And right now they finally have a release date of June 19th. So a little more than a month, I think. Before they said they chose their words kind of strangely. They said we're going to postpone it indefinitely, and everybody lost their minds. And they're like, "Oh no, Last of Us 2." You know, everybody was kind of crazy about it. But the other one is Ghost of Tsushima, which is another PlayStation exclusive. That one's going to be pushed to July 17th. So we're going to get those two in the summer.
Okay.
But Last of Us 2, I mean, I know for sure I'm waiting on that one. The other one I might have to wait.
Last of Us 2 I'm excited for. And then I asked you this, Frank. Are you doing digital for this, or are you doing disc?
I don't know. I've been doing digital for anything big that I really want to get on the first day. But I might have to do digital on this one.
Ooh, it says available in 48 days.
Yep, June 19th. They have it updated.
They do have it updated. I don't know, man. Like, I got a coupon from Best Buy that's burning a hole in my email. And there's my guy.
Yeah, there he is.
He's walking away. That's Ace.
Ace.
Bat dog. Hey, Ace. How you doing?
What's going on, Ace?
All right. What I was going to say. I have that 25% burning in my email to use it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll use it on this, but I like digital.
Yeah,
I don't like going in and plugging it in and getting up from my couch in quarantine and waste more calories than I should. But yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna buy it.
But it's like another thing is obviously the space is a premium now because I mean, Last of Us 2 is going to be anywhere from 50 to 75 gigs.
No, it's gonna be 100.
It's 100.
100.
Yeah,
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my god! But if you have the disc, I mean, you have to copy some of that onto the machine anyway. So I don't know if maybe not all 100, but you still have to copy something. So even if you have the
updates.
Well, I don't know if you have the. You think with the disc too, it's 100?
I think with this, will be 100.
You have to install a little bit when you put a disc, but I don't know if it's the whole thing. I don't really know, but
I haven't really paid attention either.
But I have 1 terabyte internal, 1 terabyte external.
Oh, look at you!
And even then, I'm still like running out of space.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of disappointing that the PS5 is rumored to have
1 terabyte.
1 terabyte. I mean,
Not
my
even.
fucking
It's
Pro
like
has that, dude.
924 or something. Not
My
even a
Pro
terabyte.
has 1 terabyte. How is this the next gen gaming if it's the same thing? Unless these games are going to be less in memory,
mean,
unless they found a way to compress
You
it.
could put what 3 games on it, 4 games before you're full.
Pretty much.
Come on, dude.
Do they want people to
It
keep buying
sucks.
games or not?
Unless you're doing
No,
like
they
an
don't.
iCloud thing where I know they are doing an iCloud thing, so I delete a lot of stuff and it just gets saved to the PSN cloud, which is kind of handy. So you could delete it and just bring it back, but it's just a simple wait time sometimes on just downloading.
You
No
mean like
matter
the
how
offload
fast
thing?
internet, yeah, no matter how much
Yeah.
how great of an internet you have, 100 gigs is 100 gigs.
And not only that,
It's
I
gonna
mean,
take a
there's
little
data
bit.
caps because I don't know about you guys, but Xfinity gives me a terabyte per month data cap.
There's ways around that. We could talk after that.
Yeah, but if I don't and I do that 5 times, I basically just killed half of my plan.
Trite.
Yeah.
So
I just made a new word, trite. Trite.
yeah, so it's like it gets
I
complicated
wanted to say true and right, and I made trite.
now.
Right. I'm using that
Hey,
word.
you know
I am
what?
bringing
That's
that
not
word
bad.
tomorrow. I
Go
work
ahead.
customer care for my company. I'm gonna say that's trite. That's trite.
They're gonna say, "What was that, sir?" Yeah,
What is
trite,
that?
man. You never heard of trite?
Yeah, it's true and right. In
You
one
heard it
word.
here first. 3 Nerds on a Sunday.
Trite.
Put on a t-shirt.
Yes.
That's a t-shirt right there.
Trite.
The only thing is, how do I spell it? Do I just spell it Trite, or do I spell it?
Nah.
Carry
THT.
on. Yeah.
That
We'll
was
figure it
my news. That was really all I had. How about Sonny? Got any news?
No, yeah, no news. I mean,
How about
I
that
was
giant game you've been waiting for? You just talked about it.
that game. Well, since you brought it up, that was gonna be part of my nerd out. But you know, that's
Whatever you want.
Is it really a nerd out? You can't even play it yet,
Yeah,
son.
I
and
don't
there's
care.
not even gameplay out there.
I
either.
don't care. This
There is no
trailer.
gameplay, right?
No.
This trailer, which all the first trailers are always are hype, and I'm hyped for it. But like I said, I've been a fan of the new storytelling and gameplay aspect of the new Assassin's Creed games, and this putting me in another era that I've been dying to play is really good. The biggest issue, I guess the reason why I'm also really hyped for this game as well, because the trailer dropped Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Um, I watched it at 10:01. My biggest gripe with the Assassin's Creed franchise was that everything kind of looked the same. It was the exact same game, just in France. It's in it's in Europe.
Well, they had like 4 of them in Italy. It was like, oh my god.
Yeah, well, it's 3 of them. Well, and I get why, because it was a lot easier to rebuild the models from the previous game. Just change it from change the color of the brick, or change the main landscaping of it and everything like that. It was straightforward. But now,
Yeah.
with this new era of Assassin's Creed, although again those are the same things that are being implemented with Origins and Odyssey, you can still see they're both built off the same thing, but they look vastly different. One is a lot of desert, palm trees, not palm
Yeah.
trees, um,
Whatever the
a lot of
desert
stone
trees
and dirt.
are.
And then you go to Odyssey. It's a lot of beautiful water, green hills, and you get like volcanoes. You get an island of just ash and soot.
But it's been 2
all
years
basically
between each one, right?
2, I think.
Like 2 between from Valhalla back to Odyssey, and then 2 back to
Something like that. Yeah.
to Origins. Yeah.
Because originally, I think they were going every year they were coming out, or like
Yeah.
every year and a half to come out with a new one. But this puts us in a familiar-esque feeling in an area, but it gives us with main characters that are gonna, I mean, if you've seen the show of Vikings at all, it's gonna be a really interesting way of telling a story and the way these characters interact with themselves in the world. There was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of like stuff that they were like hinted that you can do in the game. You're moving to a new land to rebuild, and you have to build up a settlement, build up your raid party, do
Yeah.
this, that, and it's gonna be really fun. Like
it
I
also
said,
seemed like they were trying to reverse the, what do you call it, the stereotypes against Vikings,
Oh yeah.
like the antagonists, the English
Sorry.
guys or
Yeah.
whoever they were. Yeah, they were like, oh, Vikings are nothing but barbarians, but then they show them playing with their kids
well,
and
I mean,
stuff
they
like
kind of
that.
are. I mean,
Yeah, I know, but
it
it
comes
seemed
up
like
even
they were
like
in the trailer. They were trying to reverse that a little bit, like try to make you
Yeah,
see
I
that
did
they're
like that.
humanize them a little bit more.
well, I mean, they're the good guy. Well, I mean, for purpose of this story, they're the good guys, so you don't want to hate them too much.
Well, they're anti-heroes, they're a little rough around the edges, but they're not evil. So,
I
I don't
wish
know about that.
well,
I
it seemed
wish
like it.
there was a game out there that came out already that had about Norse mythology and
Skyrim.
like a Viking kind of taste to it.
Skyrim
What
on Twitch, or no,
what
It's
game?
like, man, I wonder.
And it
I
would be
don't know.
so cool if they kind of brought it up where it's like a main character
And it's
and they have an
semi-open
axe.
world.
I would
Yeah.
hope they would have an axe again, and they start talking about Thor, just like in the trailer,
Yeah,
It-
that'd be
and then
amazing.
have a kid that
I don't know.
it's your
No, it
partner,
killed it for me.
just like in
There
this
might have been
where they say
something,
where you
but I
see
don't think it sold that well, and it wasn't reviewed that well either. So I don't think there's anything like that.
it'd
I
be
have no
even
idea.
better if it was like a sequel, but like a reboot sequel, almost like.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm sorry. Did you say what now? Can you say it one more time? I don't think I heard you.
Have you played God of War yet?
Nope.
Buy this game until you
You
play
better-
God of War, damn it.
Well, you guys got me Call of Duty now, so I don't know when we're not gonna play it.
It's just a stick it in game when you're bored. Not a game with a full story on there.
Yeah, I usually play like a story one and then like a Call of Duty on the side.
Yeah, it's called Odyssey.
Call of Duty's a side hustle, man. Come on.
Carry on.
I'm never gonna play it.
Love it. But yeah, no. Like I said, this trailer is just a hype trailer, and it got me
Yeah.
hyped. So and again, it did what I want. I want to see more now. I want to see what they're gonna do with it. So
Another one. A fur
Another.
baby. The part
I
that
love-
got me hype was that coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X. I'm like, God damn it.
Oh, is that what it said? I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to. Now I have to buy it because
Yeah.
unless it's 600, then no.
Yeah, then,
Hell no.
then unfortunately I will have to wait because
600,
no.
way too much, man. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, Sonny came and played now. I didn't see that. When I asked him the question, is he getting it the first day? Oh, he did ask. It
No,
depends.
it's coming to current consoles too.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be on both.
very
Oh.
Sonny.
Yeah, because I did it with what was it? Shadow? No, not Shadow War. It was the first one.
Oh, the
Shadow War wasn't that a PlayStation?
Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah, it came out on 360, but then it was also available on the Xbox One.
Yeah,
And then
Shadow
it
of
was-
Mordor.
Yeah, the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, and I bought it for the 360. And then when I got my PlayStation 4, I rebought it. And I'm like, well, shit, I just wasted money. But so, yeah, no, I'm really excited for this game. I want more.
Yeah.
I just want-
You can't
Yeah.
get more in God of War. So it's
Well,
okay.
you know what they're saying is that they're gonna have some kind of summer event. It's gonna be like an E3 online replacement, where a lot of companies have signed up to agree to show their games and talk about them. So hopefully we get some gameplay pretty soon about this game.
They have Twitter and Instagram. They could just drop it there instead of make me sit through an 8-hour fucking conference. So hey,
Yeah,
I
guys.
think it's going to be
too.
different though.
Twitch
It's not going to be like a Sony conference. I think it's just going to be developers themselves, like just showcasing their games. I know it's like not the same, but sometimes I don't mind that. If it's a longer thing.
E3 is no longer relevant. I mean,
Only thing I look at anyway is the trailers. I don't watch a 3-hour Microsoft conference.
that's what I'm saying.
Like, dude,
Yeah, who does that?
I don't need anyone to sit there and be like, well, here's a empty promise of a game that may or may not happen.
Well, also they say like, oh, our sales this, our platform
Yeah,
this,
I
and
don't
it's
care.
like, dude, I'm not like I'm not one of your investors, man. I don't really care.
Just show
Come
me the
out with a
good.
good game.
That's it. So we'll see how that turns out. But
Well, I'm still gonna watch it because I want to see anything trailers I can.
that's why.
Any more news?
Nope, not me.
No, that's it. So with news out of the way, I believe our next segment is our nerd outs. So, Frank, let's go with you first. What's your first or your only nerd out, depending on how many you got?
I just have one, I guess, and it's gonna be a general thing. I just watched a bunch of random movies.
Mm.
So I'm gonna give you three really quick ones. First one, I went back to Shudder after our other episode, and I was looking for more stuff to watch.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen The Fog or Escape from New York for a long time.
Mhm.
And I love John Carpenter, as you know, so I watched both of those. And Escape
Can I
from New York didn't feel the same anymore. Like, it didn't feel as good as I used to think it was, but it was still
can
good.
I can I ask why Escape from New York is on Shutter? I never considered that a horror movie.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know, maybe they just wanted to put something Carpenter on there. That's all I could think of.
Or maybe Carpenter has a contract with him, and so all of his
Maybe
movies
because
go on there.
because they have Body Bags, Into the Mouth
They
of
have Hollywood,
Madness,
yeah,
and
Halloween.
then The Fog. Um, The Fog is good. That one's better than I remember it.
This is very
So
good.
yeah, I would watch that one, Manny, if you have some time. Um, and then lastly, I never saw a Timothy Dalton Bond movie,
Mhm.
and they have,
Uh,
I think there's only two, right? There's
yeah.
Living Daylights and License
License
to
to
Kill,
yeah.
and they have both on Prime. So I watched Living Daylights because that one came out first. I
Okay.
ended up liking it a lot, man. I thought he was good, and the movie was actually pretty well made. Like I was like, all right, this is not bad, man. Like as a Bond movie, it was. I don't know if like the other ones are just too old for me or just don't hold up or something, but this one was pretty good, and I want to watch License to Kill next.
You know what? I mean,
Yeah.
his films were they were ahead of their time because I mean again they were made in the area of the era of like gadgets Bond, but this from what
You use them a lot less in this one.
it felt more like he was leaning towards of his ability to kill people and be more
Yeah,
of an actual spy. And at the time, fans were like, where's the watch? Where's the jetpack? Where's this? Where's that?
yeah,
Where's the gadgets? And unfortunately, but I think money wise, I think they did fine, but I don't think they were like exceeded expectations. But they were definitely ahead of their
right.
time. They're kind of like a preview to the Craig Bond now, in my opinion, and I
Yeah.
do really like him as Bond. So
I actually like him. Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't think. I don't know. I just never saw his movies before, so I just didn't know what to expect. But it was entertaining, man, the whole way through. It was good action. There's actually some pretty good action pieces, and it was watchable. It wasn't some of those older movies. They drag on really hard, man. Like it's like I'm like, dude, it's like almost 2 hours and 40 minutes. Some of the older ones. It's like I can't.
License to Kill, you'll see that that's when Bond turned the corner, because that was the first one that was rated PG-13 out of all of them. So you'll
And what was
notice
that
that
like? In like 90 or 92, something like that.
89, 89.
Oh, 89. Did they have
Yeah.
any between Dalton and Pierce? Was there
No,
any?
I think from this guy, it went into Pierce. I want to say. Let me see when
It's like a
GoldenEye
long
came out.
gap, I think, like 6 years or something.
Yeah, it was like 95. So yeah, that was the last one.
95, yeah. So
The
five
cool
years.
part to kind of put a fire under your ass to watch License to Kill. A young Benicio del Toro shows up in that one.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, he must have been what, 20 or less?
super young, man,
Yeah.
super young.
Wow, that's
So yeah,
interesting. All
enjoy
right,
that
I'm
one.
gonna check that out.
That was a good one. I
But I
remember.
like Dalton,
My
man. I'm kind of like sad that he only did two.
Yeah,
I want to
my
see more of them.
grandma bought me like the collection when I was younger. I was already
Oh,
a big
nice.
Bond guy, and I would always watch it on Spike TV like around
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, you're
Uh,
right.
Yeah.
So I watched them all, man. I like even the PG ones had nudity in there if you look for it. Like in the beginning scene, that's how bad of a little kid I was, I guess. But whatever. But License to Kill always stuck out for me because it. I didn't notice it at the time, but it was the first PG-13 movie, and I looked at all of them, and this was PG-13.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Dalton wasn't bad. He was good.
Yeah, he was good. I liked
Mhm.
him. But yeah, maybe want to watch more. So maybe I'll in the future check out some more random Bond. But first, I'm gonna finish up Dalton.
Yeah, you gotta dabble with Sean Connery.
Mm-hmm. I've seen a few, but not that many.
I know Manny's a huge James Bond fan. Where does this one rank for you as all-time Bonds?
Me?
Yeah. Where does Dalton
Like
rate?
the movie or Dalton himself?
Dalton himself.
I don't like Roger Moore almost at all.
Kind of surprised.
I don't know. I just never liked him. I don't know.
He's okay. I mean, I've only seen one of his. Moonraker, I think, is what the one I saw.
Yeah, I watched them all, man. Like that, his Bond, I didn't like too much. I think it's a little too nice.
He did what, 5 of them or something like that?
Yeah, he was up there with Connery. Connery, I think, still leads it. But more, I don't know, man. Like he wasn't devilish. He was just a gentleman. And I'm like, that's not Bond.
Like more like gentleman, more ladies man than anything else. Kind
of. Not so much ladies man, because I still consider a ladies man like devilish.
Yeah, that's true.
Conniving.
He seemed like he didn't get his hands dirty that much in the like.
And that, yeah, I don't know. I gotta watch him to really look at it. I haven't watched all of them in a long time, but I think it's. You asked me this question before, and I think I answered Sean Connery, Pierce Brosnan,
Sean Connery's birthday,
Daniel Craig, and then I would probably say Dalton.
Okay.
But Sean Connery, like you can't. I always have to put him number one. Once you see Dr. No, you see
Goldfinger,
Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Octopussy, Thunderball. Like there's great ones, man. There's great ones. So yeah. And Pierce Brosnan, I grew up with Pierce Brosnan. I saw GoldenEye, and Tomorrow. No, is it Tomorrow Never?
Tomorrow Never Dies.
I used to know the name.
World Is Not Enough.
Die Another Day.
Die Another Day. I like that one. I don't care what anybody says. I liked it.
I really like, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I like the Madonna song.
I did too, man.
Yeah,
I kind of liked it.
I saw it in theaters when I was like 13 or something. I enjoyed the movie, man. I was like, wow, this is pretty good.
I saw it in theaters and I read the book. So
whoa, look at you.
Yeah, whatever that they do. But yeah, I grew up with those, and then from there, GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies. That's the one I was questioning. The World Is Not Enough and Die Another Day. Pierce Brosnan's movies, though, they're not great. GoldenEye is probably his best one.
2 are good. 2 are okay.
I know Tomorrow Never Dies wasn't a great follow-up to GoldenEye.
It really wasn't.
World Is Not Enough. That's pretty good. I remember liking that when I was young. I'm a kid. And then Another Day was always kind of fun.
Yeah. They just went like balls to the wall with it.
I'll tell you. I'm sorry. Octopussy was actually Roger Moore. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roger Moore, and then Sean Connery. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. Roger Moore actually did more James Bond.
Well, was Moore in a unofficial Bond movie, or was
it was Sean? Are you talking about the unofficial Bond movie?
There's like 2 of them.
I know there's one for sure. I don't know about 2, but the one that says "Never Say Never," that's Sean Connery, and that I guess that officially isn't a Bond movie, but that movie was so weird. I remember,
There's actually a documentary on Hulu about George Lazenby, and it's just like about the weirdness of how he became Bond for like one movie, and he was like a mechanic or something in Australia. It's like I was just reading the bio of the movie, and I was like, man, that is just weird. Like, how the heck did that guy sneak in there like that? It's so weird.
What is your favorite
Casino
song?
Royale? That's the one.
What?
Wait, what?
Casino Royale. There was a 1954, 1967. Both are considered non-canon, and then Never Say Never Again was Sean Connery in 1983.
Mm-hmm.
So there's technically three.
Three? Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, what's that fucking movie?
What's your favorite song from James Bond? Favorite?
Oh, man. I like The World Is Not Enough, and I like the Casino Royale one. Oh, and I like Skyfall, too. Those are like the three that stick out for me. That's the one with Cornell, right? That
is Quantum of Solace.
Is
no. I'm sorry. That was Black Keys, or White Keys, or something.
No, it was Alicia Keys and the guy from the White Stripes.
Yeah. There we go. White Stripes. There we go.
Yeah. Casino Royale. I think Goldfinger is probably my two favorite.
I don't remember that one.
Man, dude, which one? Goldfinger?
Yeah, I don't remember the song.
Goldfinger.
Oh, it's like right on the button, right on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much.
They all are, right? They all say the title.
With the finest touch. I really like Live and Let Die, and that's a Roger Moore movie. I'm looking at that. And Live and Let Die.
There's a Spotify list that they made with all the Bond themes.
Oh, that was a good one. Dr. No was just James Bond, like just the theme.
Oh yeah.
From Russia with Love was good. I think that was Frank Sinatra. Can you look that up, Sonny, real quick? If someone has a computer, From Russia with Love.
Okay.
From Russia with Love. I just hear From Russia with Love. And then Thunderball, I don't remember Thunderball. You Only Live Twice. Diamonds Are Forever. Kanye West made that popular.
Yeah.
No, it says Matt Monroe.
Matt Monroe? Okay, Matt.
Yeah, it's not what you think. But he's probably a classical sounding kind of guy. Sounds probably like him.
But those are good, man. Those songs. A James Bond theme means so much now.
Oh yeah,
at least because I grew up with them, and luckily Casino Royale so far has done pretty good on all of them. Actually, fantastic on all of them. Spectre was the one that kind of grew on me after the fact. But that was a good movie, man. Or not a good movie. It was, yeah. But the song, it was really good. No Time to Die though was the one disappointment from Daniel Craig, and maybe it'll grow on me a little bit more. But the No Time to Die by Billie Eilish, wasn't that good, man. Wasn't that good?
I listened a few times. I just didn't really get into it. It didn't really work for me.
Yeah, I only listened to it once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I heard it twice, and I was like, "There's nothing special here." I don't know. It was just meh at best.
Yeah.
Now, maybe with the title screen and with everything going on in the screen, it might come off better. But as a song by itself, I can't get behind it.
And it's like once you don't like the song, it's like I don't really want to sit here for 4 minutes and listen to this. Like,
I don't know, man, because I did that with Spectre. And I made myself listen to it because I guess there was a piece in there that I like. I think it was either the beginning or something. And I just kept listening. And it finally got to me. But No Time to Die, I only listened to it once, maybe twice. Showed it to my wife. And it wasn't special, man. Like, it's too low. It's not a classic feel like how Skyfall was.
Yeah, Skyfall is awesome.
An old James Bond movie again.
Yeah, it was great.
It's great.
Oh, I like that Kincaid character in that movie. He was just like a funny old man. I liked him. He was cool. I want to see that movie again, but I haven't had time.
That's a good one. That's a good tangent one. Yeah, anything else?
No, that's it.
You want to talk about your nerd out? Oh, you said your nerd out was Assassin's Creed, right, Sonny?
But I do have another one, just real quick. The Extraction. It's the new movie on Netflix that I think came out this week or last weekend. Yeah. So as a movie as a whole, the story is very average. It's just there because this is an action movie. This is like John Wick was.
I wouldn't put it on that level though.
It's really fucking good. I mean, again,
it's
like
one notch below.
First, John Wick is really good, but it tails off, and it's just kind of like there's not enough meat there. But like the action is fantastic. It makes you want more.
There's more meat than Extraction.
Was this better made than the first John Wick?
No.
That car
John
chase
Wick felt like a B movie, man.
That car chase movie. I mean, that car chase in Extraction was pretty good. That's pretty good. You got to admit that's pretty good.
They reuse a song more than once.
But it's a whole package, though. Like it's not enough to beat John Wick, in my opinion.
Again, John Wick as a whole is good. It's fun.
Frank's not having any part of this conversation.
Toward the end, man. Well, because he's yeah. Anyways, the Extraction has again, like you saw the trailer, like I don't know, look like it's gonna be average, but this action is awesome. Like say the least.
The likable characters. I mean, like the main character in Extraction, he's not likable at all. I mean, it's like zero charisma, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, again, he's not. Well, I won't say he's not charismatic because he is Thor, but
it's more Chris than the character, though.
And so is Keanu Reeves. It's not the character; it's Keanu.
Yeah, but he's got more of a legend behind him.
Yeah, I think I'm back. Yeah, it's all Keanu. It's not John.
Yeah, I think I'm back.
All right, I'll give you that, but I mean,
you can't win this one. You can't. Like,
no, I could
John
because
Wick is amazing.
If you it takes two though to tango, right? Like if you switch them, if you put Keanu in Extraction, it wouldn't be as good.
Yeah, good movies.
Okay, hold on. So what's the question? I feel like I have to watch Extraction now. What is up for debate?
I don't know.
He thinks it rivals John Wick. He thinks it's better, possibly, than John Wick.
No, I said this is a damn good action movie on par with John Wick because both, like, you can watch both of them back to back and be like, this is an action movie. Like,
you'll have fun for sure.
Oh, and again, you have a lot of fun in John Wick too. These, like, you can watch them back to back, and it's not like shaky cam fight scene where you can't see.
You're right. You're right.
And again, like in the Extraction, that car chase is pretty damn good. Like,
the final battle in Extraction was very good. It was action packed. It was really well done. I mean, and Manny, I think you're the one who showed us some behind the scenes stuff, or who was it who posted that video to our chat where the director himself is sitting on a dune buggy or something.
No,
car chases.
Sitting on the hood.
He's sitting on like a hood of a car.
Zoe Bell. Like, I mean, like again, like if you really sit down, John Wick is a basic movie. Oh, they killed my dog, my wife.
Yes, of course.
Kill people.
It's very basic.
And this is Extraction. Is they kidnapped the kid. I gotta get him back. I gotta get him here. Boom, done. And the whole purpose of the story in both of them is to get you from action scene to the next action scene.
But I would say John Wick was a lot more of a human story. I think that's kind of
because this guy has no connection to the kid who's kidnapped, and he doesn't even care about anything. Like, I don't want to give too much because Manny hasn't seen it. Maybe other people haven't really seen it yet. But
I wouldn't say that.
I would and the reason why I like John Wick 2 is that he almost goes Super Saiyan when he has a gun because he just fucking goes nuts because he's just doing it because of rage. He's not doing it to save anyone or anything like that.
He kind of digs deep, right? Like when you think he's done or he's going to lose, he'll kind of pull it out at the last second.
And honestly, that's why I like John Wick 2 more because you see a little more of that, especially that one gunfight in the tunnels or in the whatever they call it.
The catacombs.
Yeah, the catacombs.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Because that one you saw a lot more, and you had multiple guns.
This
like-
was good though. It's definitely worth a watch. I mean, it was. I enjoyed the action. It was really good.
oh, the action is fantastic. Again, like this is like again, Extraction and John Wick should show you that an action movie made in America can be good.
Yeah.
It's not, this isn't Donnie Yen or Jackie Chan, or like this isn't the
Yeah.
raid overseas where they're like unions. You can kill a stunt guy. I don't care.
Well,
But,
they're
like,
having a lot of this like stuntman turned director kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's why they're so good, because they know how to do action. So
yeah, because like
They just need to learn how to do a story.
like
so
I
the
will say-
Russos supposedly were involved in the story, and
They
I don't know,
wrote
I
the
was a little surprised because I was like, "This is the Russos." I mean, I don't know, man.
Well, again, I think they knew what this movie was. This is like a B action movie. Like
Sure.
Extraction feels again, quote unquote, realistic because like the guys get like they got slings in their arms. They got big bruises. They're bleeding. They're they're like pills because I don't know if I can do it.
Especially that
John-
main antagonist guy. Yeah, he really took a beating.
John Wick again, awesome, and you see he gets tired, but there's not that many like bumps and bruises. Like he
Yeah,
gets
there is
stabbed.
some ridiculousness, like where he
Still
can
good to
block
go.
bullets with his suit jacket, and he can
So-
get hit like by 5 cars, and he still fights. And yeah, I can see that.
But the extraction again, the story is very simple. Chris Hemsworth gets hired to bring back a kidnapped son of a crime lord or drug lord.
Yeah,
They bring him back. Some tomfoolery happens, and he has to get the kid out to the extraction point, and that's the whole. And it gets you from one action scene to the next, to the next, to the next. It serves its purpose. I think it's a little long, but the action makes up for it big time.
yeah,
It's,
and there's a lot of it. There's a ton of action.
the action is great in it.
It's worth a watch. It was pretty good. I did like it.
Yes, yeah. I'm not gonna say like this is like I'm not gonna be like, oh, you had to see this. No, like it's really good if you love action movies.
Yeah,
You watch this then, because
It was
then
well
at
done.
least you get like a gauge of what a good action movie could be instead of just like most of the stuff that we usually get.
yeah, that's true.
Cool.
So
You got anything else as you nerd out? That was it.
Valhalla's gonna be awesome. So there you go.
So I go into mine. I've been watching a little more Clone Wars. I kind of slowed down a little bit. I guess just because I haven't had time, but I have noticed that season 4, which I'm finally in, and now it's more just watching it 1 through 22. It got a little slow, but there was a cool part, and I shared it with you guys. I think it was episode 3, or I'm sorry, season 3, episode 22. There, basically, Ahsoka gets stuck on this world of those lizards. I forgot their name, but the bounty hunter lizard that you see in
Empire.
in Empire, I want to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He has like a whole kind of species.
yeah.
But his species, this one clan likes to hunt on this one world, kind of like Predator style. So they kidnap and do it and whatever.
Nice.
But anyway, at the end of this episode, when she finally fights the main boss, there's like a trophy room, which was always pretty cool. So you see like Wookiees, the main of the Wookiees. You see you see like different monsters from Star Wars and all that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I always like trophy rooms, like even in Predator, because you always saw something. Like that's where we saw the alien skull, the xenomorph skull.
Yeah.
So in this one, I actually found another skull, and it was kind of cool. It was the skull from it was the crystal skull from Indiana Jones, which was pretty cool. And it just kind of caught off. You guys weren't really impressed by it, but I was.
Was it still?
It's cool. It's so I'm like, oh, okay, that's like again, like if you see it, you know what it is. It's like that's awesome.
Was it like a crystal or was it bone? Like how did it look? Was it shiny?
Exactly what you see in Crystal Skull in the movie. You see it here, and that's why it kind of stuck out to me.
Yeah.
And I know George Lucas and Steven Spielberg are always buddies, so they're always.
Yeah.
I think both of them are kind of involved with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So that's why Lucas puts that in there. I could see that. But to me, as a nerd, connecting universes, it's kind of cool knowing that Indiana Jones is in the same universe as Star Wars, and that kind of confirms it.
That's kind of cool.
It's a weird time that we live in because again, like people go, oh, same universe. I just go like, that's a cool thing to see. Now, if it happens, okay, cool. But it's more like because they've been doing that for years. Because I think in like E.T. he had like the kid dressed up as Yoda, and then in
same universe.
Anyways, then thinking Revenge of the Sith, they had the ETs in there as like a nice little nod.
I didn't even notice that.
I don't mind like worlds being mashed up together, but when everything has some kind of universe, I go, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of annoying sometimes. Yeah.
No, it's not annoying. Don't fucking feed to his negativity, Franklin.
No,
don't feed into his.
It's like
negativity.
forced sometimes. It's like, why?
No, it's
why
not
are you doing this?
You know what? We're moving on. My other note now. So I've been working from home, doing customer service, picking up calls, fixing issues, looking badass, sounding sexy. But I get bored because I just look at my screen. So I put my TV on and I watch movies in silent. Just with subtitles and all that. And I try to put movies that I haven't seen in a while that kind of trigger stuff. And it's cool because I'm talking to you guys. I was thinking about maybe doing it on our Twitter for 3 Nerds on Sunday, but no one's going to care. But I like going there and just kind of, I like messaging you guys the first reaction, the first thought that I remember from watching that movie. Kind of like we were watching, or I was watching Back to the Future, in the scene where Doc dies. They're in like a parking lot for a mall, and you see JCPenney. When I was little, our park we had a North Riverside Park Mall by us that had a JCPenney, and it looked exactly like it. So I always thought it was at JCPenney. I thought they filmed it.
It really does.
And then I was watching another one, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and that kind of sparked a little debate on Frank's part. Now I haven't seen Kong, like I said I would. I saw it. I was watching it in silence, and I did notice that Kong looked a little bit nicer, like visually. But I think I keep saying I think it's because all the fights in Kong, except the last one, were during the day, so you could see a little bit more. Where Godzilla movies, they weren't; they were at night. I guess my question is, what was your biggest gripe with King of the Monsters? Because you just hated it, dude.
I was really hyped for it, man. I was so happy to go see it. I even went by myself because right now it's a little bit hard for me to go because the kids are small and stuff. So I wanted to see this so much that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go at night one day.
I don't know if it's a secret, and if it's a secret, I'm sorry. You went with me.
I don't know if I did. Did I?
Yeah. It's a secret. You were with me.
No, I went by myself.
I know I bought a ticket.
I remember you pre-ordered 2 tickets, and then we were trying to figure out a way to go. But I went by myself.
Never worked out? Okay.
Yeah, it never worked out. But I went by myself, and that's how much I wanted to see it, because I love anything Godzilla, anything kaiju, anything giant monsters. I even like Pacific Rim Uprising. I like that movie, and a lot of people hate it. So that's how much I like this type of stuff. So I go to see King of the Monsters, and I was just really disappointed, man. I like that. That's the part that really brings the movie down for me. Like, no matter how much you guys like it or point out things to me that are true, like, that initial disappointment just kind of kills the movie for me. And it was really the battles. Those were not up to par, man. Those were not well done battles.
That's not true.
The Kong battles were better than King of the Monsters.
What problems were you having with it?
I mean, like, you would get Godzilla with Ghidorah, and all they would do is yell at each other and then lock hands and then cut to humans, and then they would spray each other with lasers or fire, and they would cut again to humans, and it's just like, ah, my God, I don't want to watch these humans run away. Like, I could see Godzilla's leg, and then I see the humans, and then cut back to Godzilla and Ghidorah for the trailer shot where they grab hands. and then let's cut again to something else. Well, the humans trying to get away in the jet or whatever, and it just annoyed the hell out of me. I just wanted them to fight. Like, just focus on the monsters, please. Let them fight.
Well,
It's
I
just
mean,
that wasn't happening.
the biggest gripe that I remember from this movie that Hollywood had is that they had too much monsters.
And I thought that was tone deaf. Like, it wasn't enough monsters, in my opinion.
But even if when I remember these the Japanese movies from Toho,
Sure.
those motherfucking things are long, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's like long stretches without
No.
the monsters.
Usually he only shows up in like the last 15, 20 minutes, and the rest of it is just the humans going, "Oh no, where is he? What's going on? Why isn't he here?"
How much of that is preference by Toho, and how much of it is budget, and how much of it is they couldn't or they can't or whatever? Like,
they could it. They could if they wanted to.
Watched the Godzilla.
It's a man in a suit.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Look at. Okay, so
you have to build all those sets and all that. So I get it.
Give me a rating for King of the Monsters. Both of you.
Oh, well, I didn't watch it all.
I give it a 6. I liked it, but it really fell short for me.
I think.
I give it 8.5. I felt like a child. I felt like a kid again watching it because I mean, they had all the little details right. They had the twins, the man bad guy being from space. He's not even from here. He fell from the sky.
Who's not from space?
Everything in there.
Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Ghidorah. I thought you said a guy. That's why I thought.
Me too.
Like, what the heck are you talking about?
They understand the core concept of it, and to me, the action is fine because
that's not a concept.
They decided to go. They decided to go with more of a real take on it, where like Pacific Rim is a anime. So there's swords, there's flying animals, they're flying up in space and falling down. There is more chance in Pacific Rim of having different types of action scenes because you're not
like a different monster comes out.
No, in Godzilla being like if you ever watch two animals actually fight, it's really boring because it's just rawr.
I don't know about that. It's kind of scary. It's very like.
A giant lizard going raw is not for you. That's like no.
I think what you're saying is right because it reveals that I much prefer Pacific Rim style than whatever King of the Monsters was.
Oh no, sure, and again that's completely understandable. But again, like the fanboy me is really mad at you right now because.
Well, maybe I'm not as much of a fan as you guys because I didn't pick up on the twins. I didn't pick up on.
You didn't pick up on the twins?
I don't know anything about that. I didn't know anything about that. I just know.
Oh, yeah.
Like for me, it's like random scenes that I remember as a kid, but I don't know this universe back to front. So
Well, I'm not an expert either, but I did grow up with the movies, and I'm just waiting for Mechagodzilla. But like when Godzilla went atomic, man. Well, let me see if I'm right, Sonny. What do you think that referenced?
That was, I think, Destroyer when he when he was going
Space Godzilla, right? That one.
It was either Destroyer or Space Godzilla. It was I don't remember exactly because they kind of blend, but
when when he goes atomic, what happens? Does he change color? Or what happens?
Yeah, he basically looked like how he did there, which was really, really cool. And it was the only way he could beat. I think it was Destroyer. And Destroyer and Space Godzilla, are besides Mechagodzilla, are my two favorite ones. I think I like Space Godzilla a little bit more because it's Godzilla, but just from space. Like it was the evil side of him. And he couldn't beat him. So the last thing he had to do was like turn atomic.
I guess this is my version of Endgame not being on my top 10 because this movie didn't really.
The more you talk about Godzilla, you're probably not as a fan as much as I thought you were because I always thought like me and you were always like on the same level of it.
I think I like the concepts and the imagery more than like knowing everything about it. And being like triggered by seeing the twins or something like that didn't.
I don't know everything about it. Like I saw Godzilla when I was younger, and I never really watched them again. but I know of
Yeah.
it because it was just so close to my heart. But
I don't think I heard your rating. What did you say, Manny?
me, I
Sonny
have
said
to watch it
8.5.
again. But just going off what I remember, maybe 7 out of 10.
Mhm.
But I mean, the parts of Godzilla, like him coming back and all that, like they made Godzilla more of a character with emotion in this than the Toho ones did, because the Toho ones are just a
He
guy in a
didn't
suit.
seem like that much of a king. Like he was always getting whooped or dead or like running
Well,
away. I'm like, what?
because
No,
he's been asleep. Also, been
no. Hold on,
asleep
wait a minute. No. He was a badass in that movie. He almost killed King
at first.
Ghidorah, but the
Badass? I
humans,
wouldn't say that.
we dropped the bomb in there, and now you're dead, Godzilla. Sorry, whoops. I
I
mean,
mean, show me, don't
badass.
tell me. Like that's number one rule. Like I didn't
Show you.
see as an
He,
outsider, right? I'm like kind of an outsider here, so you didn't show me that he's a badass. Like I know that he is because of his movies and his
you're not an
legendary
outsider.
status, but
You're not.
this movie didn't show me that he was a badass.
I have to watch it again. I have to make sure. I want you to watch it again.
I'll
But
watch it. I'll watch it again. We'll do a watch through together.
oh yeah, I think we should do a what we were talking
That'll be
about that.
I think it'll be a good one because I don't know. For some reason, it annoyed me, and I was like, I want Pacific Rim again. So maybe that's my problem. I don't know, but
But
that's
I mean,
really what
I
I want.
almost like talking about the original Godzilla, like not the original, but the one from 2014. I like that one too because it was more of a. Oh, I'll take it all the way back to 98 Godzilla. 98 Godzilla, when they advertised that, they didn't show Godzilla until the movie came out or until a couple months the movie actually did come out. And I really liked the whole disaster feel to it
Hmm.
because they wouldn't show Godzilla, but they would show the disaster that he left behind or a big footprint of it. So I
Yeah,
always liked that whole disaster thing of Godzilla.
or like a
And
hole in a building, stuff like that.
yeah, like a hole in building, or he was
Hmm.
here, or we're gonna need a bigger guns, or size matters. I think that's what they said.
Yeah,
Um, in the 2014 one, I really liked it because the advertising was very similar. You didn't see Godzilla. Uh, you saw him wreck Las Vegas, and that was in like a leaked trailer. And then you heard his roar,
yeah.
which sounded completely different.
I
It was
like the
and then it went down and it went back up.
I
So
like
it
the
was awesome.
previous Godzilla more than King of the Monsters.
Yeah, and I can see that, and I like how they did the whole disaster thing, and what would happen if it happened really in a city like the United States.
Yeah,
Where this one, King of the Monsters, didn't want to go for the realistic thing. They just want to go hit it home with all the Toho reference and all
yeah.
the classic references that they have with Rodan and Mothra and all that.
But at some
Um,
point, isn't it like reference for reference sake? Like, I get that it's cool, I get that it's awesome, but it's like
I've
they're
No,
trying to
the
throw the
twins
kitchen
are
sink at some
they're
point.
they're not like an Easter egg thing. Like they are part of who Mothra is. Now
Yeah.
again, like
yeah.
like because Mothra is his own franchise.
Hmm.
She had these two twins, and they're linked, and they're part of her destiny. They're like kind of like speakers for her. But
Mm.
so like it's not an Easter egg. Like they are part of her story. It's just unfortunately being that this is Godzilla's movie, she had
American.
to
Yeah.
take a big back seat.
Okay.
But
You
that
can't have Mothra without the twins, basically.
Yeah,
basically,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But what I think Sonny and I appreciated that is that they didn't really focus on Mothra's background, but then they kind of confirmed it.
Mhm.
Like
Hmm.
they confirmed that it was the same as what the Toho movies were, and that's what we
Yeah.
kind of liked on it. We're
I
like, oh
almost
yeah,
feel like I almost feel like what somebody does when they go see Avengers and they have no ties to it. They're like, that was cool, but like, what the fuck's up with this guy with the metal arm, and what's with this raccoon that talks? Like, they like it, and it's funny, and it's cool, but they don't fully appreciate it, and maybe that's what's happening for me.
yeah. I thought Frank was a bigger Godzilla fan than
I like the
this.
visuals more than anything. Like, the monster designs are so cool, and the old movies are cool, but this movie disappointed the crap out of me.
Oh,
You got
I
some
mean,
homework, man. I want you to watch some of the old ones and see what you feel about it.
Yeah, I've never
um,
really seen that many of them, and I don't know
we
why, but I was okay with Shin Godzilla. I know Sonny hated it, but I was okay with that
I didn't
movie.
hate it, but I was like, oh.
Is it like a purist standpoint? Like you're like, that's not my Godzilla, or like what was your
No,
major
it's
gripe?
just I just didn't feel the same way I did when I saw pretty much most of them. When I was like, oh, okay, this is
Is it
it's a
because it
movie.
was focused too much on creepiness? Like he's like all decayed and falling apart and stuff.
No, I wasn't necessarily upset with that. I don't know. I just felt like I felt like he was more of an afterthought. Like you could have made this about a asteroid or about an earthquake, and it'd be pretty much the same thing. Of like, okay, how do we handle this?
Hmm.
How do we handle that? Okay, that didn't
I don't
work.
remember that being the case, but I haven't seen it since we saw it
Yeah.
a long time ago.
So like, I understand why people really love it. To me, it like again, like it's a Godzilla movie in aspects, but to me, it didn't carry that the same weight. Again, like you can take him out and put something else in, and it's pretty much the same movie. He doesn't have to be in it. So
Mm.
I can see that. I didn't have a problem with it. Like it had a little bit of everything of what the old Godzillas were, and then it just gave it something new. It gave his backstory a little bit different. Now this isn't. I don't consider this canon to Godzilla. I still think Godzilla was created because of a atomic bomb with a lizard or something, or a dinosaur. But this one, they were kind of as an abomination. So it was a cool, real retelling of the story,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it. And then I always find it creepy at the end that there was little humanoid Godzillas that were about to hit, and I always wanted to see that.
yeah,
Mm.
that I like. I think the end got me. Where like, okay, now I would be a little more or a little more acceptable to watch a sequel to that movie to see where they take that aspect of him and see where they go with it. Because like at the end, when they freeze him, like his tail starts to like break off into like small versions of him or like
Mm.
monsters. So I'm like, okay, that was like that would be cool if they were able to get to it. But it's a nice little thing. Like if we make a part two, maybe. So
And to me, is like Kong was like an 8 or 8.5, where King of the Monster was like 6 for me. And 6 is not bad. I just wasn't like dying. I wasn't like really super happy with King of the
I
Monsters.
mean, Samuel Jackson almost killed him. So how strong is Kong?
Yeah, I mean,
That was
I
Baby
guess you're
Kong.
right, but I didn't really care. I mean, that
He's a
was
baby.
fine with me. It was
I
fine.
mean, he's a baby, but I don't know.
Baby
Again,
Kong.
Kong is fun. Kong is really fun, but I never had again like part of it is I didn't have that tie to him of
Uh-huh.
like but at the same
Yeah,
time it is really fun.
Well,
I was
this is
bored
like
watching
nothing
it with
like
you
Kong
guys.
you've ever seen, basically. I mean, the only Kong we really have is the one that was on the island, but then he's brought to New York and gunned down, basically.
So see, that's my problem with Kong, right?
Mhm.
Which Kong is it? Is it the same Kong? Is that the same Kong story?
You could say the same for Godzilla. I mean, there's so much
I
baggage
guess
there.
it is the same Kong story. You know what? I just answered my own question because they found him on Skull Island and the
Mhm.
other one. Never mind. That is the same person. I don't know, man. Like
I really, for some reason, had so much more fun with Kong than I did with King of the Monsters.
I don't know. I never
Like
forgave
I like discovering
Toho
the
with.
monsters on the island, like where the soldiers are going through, and then all of a sudden, like the bamboo is like a leg of a spider, and cool stuff like that. I liked all that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I never forgave Toho for killing Godzilla and having King Kong win in that one movie that I bought at
I had no
Coconuts.
idea that
I
happened.
remember.
Was that Toho though, or was that
Oh, was
like
it?
uh I think
If
it
it
was
was
like a
Godzilla.
well I mean they had him, but I think the company that made the movie was in America, and they're like, well,
Oh,
Kong.
you're right.
Oh,
You're right.
so
I think
Yeah.
there's two versions, right? In Toho's version, Godzilla wins.
yes, somewhere there's a not a
Fuck a
bootleg
poster.
copy, but there's a copy where he wins. Because they try to make Kong into his own franchise. There's like Mecha Kong, and like I think he had
Yeah.
maybe one other movie, or like
Mm.
maybe two, but it never took off
I
as
I love Japanese culture that they to make a formidable bad guy, they'll make a mecha version of the good guy every single time.
Or a clone or a mecha, yeah.
Or a clone no, the clone will end up being a mecha at some point.
Yeah, is
Which
an
is kind of
android or
cool.
robot or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You gotta watch Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Then you have to watch Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla Part 2. And then I think you already saw Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, but if you could watch that again.
I
And
think
then
I've almost never seen any of them, the whole thing. Like I've seen
no,
bits and
we have.
pieces.
We saw one of them. I think we saw the King Ghidorah one.
But like, what is there? Like 20 something movies?
There's a lot.
30?
There's a whole
Let's,
bunch.
let's say
There's a whole
30.
bunch. They
I've
get better with
seen
age.
I've seen the whole thing of maybe 2, and then like my frame of reference is not as much as you guys. You guys know a lot more.
I don't know if we know a lot more. Maybe Sonny knows a lot
I
more
guess
than
you
me.
appreciate it more than me because I was like annoyed by that movie.
I
I
think
did
you would like.
definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, I think you would like the. I think it was the second generation or third generation of Godzilla, where like it was there was they went with this idea of going back to making Godzilla more like serious tone. So there was
Mm-hmm.
it was like Mecha. It was Mecha Godzilla 3. It was Space Godzilla. It was Destroya because there was a certain point in the franchise where they're like, okay, we can't keep using just normal monsters. So
Yeah.
so there was like 3 or 4, like 3 movies or 2 movies where they so some alien race was like, okay, let's take DNA from him, or the DNA mixes with some kind of parasite that
Mm-hmm.
turns into like Space and
Mm.
Godzilla and then comes down and fights them.
All
They
right.
more different. Like like the very early stuff is a little more serious, or a little more serious tone, and then we get into
Yeah.
like the um
Like
really
space monsters and ridiculous stuff.
yeah, like him
Yeah.
going rah, rah, jumping and dancing and all that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Being
that's
more
where like
kiddish.
yeah, there's like okay, I think we're getting a little too kid. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back. It's gonna have a new showrunner, and he came up with
Mm-hmm.
like a quote unquote darker version of it, or more like a more serious tone to him. And
Like Godzilla 2000.
yeah, so
Well,
yeah, there's
I
a
remember you and me saw that when it first came out, Sonny.
yes.
2000. I did
That
like that one. That's another one I did watch the whole thing.
Yeah. So there's like 3 eras you can choose from that you probably take the best of all of them and be like, okay, and then kind of get the
that's
general
Godzilla.
But I think, like part of movies is your expectation. And like I was going into King of the Monsters like, oh man, this is gonna be a 10 out of 10. This is gonna be freaking amazing. This is gonna be battles. This is gonna be like on par with Pacific Rim. And I was like, when I saw it, it's just like, man, it deflated the hell out of that, like for me. So I never got past that in that movie. But like if you like some of these Netflix ones that come out, they're not that amazing, but my expectation is 0. So if
Sure.
you give me a halfway decent one, I might overhype it, like I always do. I'll be like, oh, that was freaking awesome. Like I'll be really into it because of that. And
My Violet, my wife, I asked her too if she liked Godzilla, King of the Monsters. She said no. She was kind of bored from it. She didn't like that they found King Ghidorah real quick in the ice, which I appreciated because that meant more monster time for me. And she said it was overpacked, so I get it. I think this movie at the end of the day was more for the Godzilla fans watching the stuff when they were younger and all that. So yeah,
Yeah, because I
seems
that's
mean,
my
like
nerd out.
fan
because
service versus like reaching a broader audience. Because I think I fall into the broader on this one. Even though
unfortunately,
I like Godzilla, I know the monster names and stuff. I'm not like so hardcore.
yeah, and that's the biggest issue. Monster movies don't do well here, rarely ever. So it's like, well,
That
do we
does suck.
cater?
I wish they would.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
love
mean, I
monster.
went and saw it. I did my part.
Yeah, I just like I said, I don't know what's gonna take to get people in to see more monster movies, but
Yeah.
so you kind of damned if you do or damned if you don't. Do you cater to more of the hardcore fans, or do you try to go general? And then when you go general, no one
Yeah,
watches.
I could see that actually. Yeah, they felt like maybe they had to get in order to make sure that the hardcore were happy and they also got other people to go see it.
Yeah, and and apparently Godzilla is it still amazes the Japanese fans that he's so loved here. Again, like not on a mainstream level, but the fact that there's a hardcore base here,
Hmm.
because it's because to them it's such a hardcore like Japanese thing. They're like, why do you guys love this so much? I mean, we love it because it was here, but because I knew a friend who went to Japan and he was looking for some figures, and he walks in the shop and this guy thought, oh, Naruto's over there, Dragon Ball Z's over there. He goes, well, I'm actually looking for Godzilla. He goes, whoa, shit, okay, over there.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Again, like Pac Rim only lived to see a sequel because of the Chinese market. Only reason why I did a sequel. Godzilla 2014 one made enough overseas and here to get a sequel, and I'm hoping we get a third one. Again, it's been pushed back. I think twice now.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
We're gonna get it eventually. I just want it now.
Another Godzilla, you're saying?
Yeah, it'll be
Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So
when they filming it already or no?
Yeah, they were. I mean, there's already damn toys. You showed us the toys.
Right. Yeah. I just didn't know how far they were, but that one's for sure already.
I mean, if there's already toys that you could see, like in packaging already, I think it's pretty darn close. They're probably just taking this to kind of fix it up and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they want to probably put it in time in a market where maybe there's not another big movie and try to get those sales.
Probably.
Because if they put up against Fast and Furious or any Marvel movie, even DC movie, they're not going to win out. They're going to lose money.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately.
All right, guys.
Probably.
Is that it?
So, do you guys have anything else to add or you want to talk about, or do we feel like that was a pretty good show there?
I think it was good. We went into the meat into some of those, like the Bond stuff and then the MonsterVerse stuff.
Yeah, I know we were trying to do this a 30-minute, 45-minute show, and we're at like an hour and 15 minutes. So that was good, man. No topic.
Whatever comes out comes out.
Yeah.
So, I guess we're going to call this one. So thank you guys for listening. You can follow us on Facebook. I don't know if we have a Twitter. If we do, we'll try to get that going. Maybe.
It's on a Sunday.
Yeah. You can find us on 3 Nerds on a Sunday. When every Sunday a new episode will drop. You can find that on any podcasting app and Spotify as well. And also check us out on YouTube. Search 3 Nerds on a Sunday will be the first search that pops up, and you can watch this recorded Skype there as well. And if you have any feedback, comments, questions, please leave them in the comments or leave them on Facebook. And if we get anything good, we'll put it on the show. So thank you guys so much.
Man. Thank you guys. Thank you for that, Sonny. There's one more thing we tried to do last week. We did a Twitch stream of Call of Duty, and we'll do probably like a random Twitch stream again. But we did it once just as a trial run, and it's a little bit extended to this show. Like we're talking about whatever comes to mind. It might like seep into real life a little bit, but it's not as guided as like the podcast where we say, okay, we got news, what are we watching. We might touch on that, whatever we didn't cover in the show, but we're doing a stream and we're just kind of chatting, laid back, playing the game.
Yeah, so if you want to hang out with us, join us on Twitch whenever we're on there. Again, search 3 Nerds on a Sunday, and you can find us pretty easy. Because so far, our name is pretty awesome, so no one else has thought about it.
Yeah, we're out there. Look for us.
All right, guys. 3 Nerds on a Sunday. Go find us. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys. Bye.